Hi everyone, Daniel Campbell here. I don't know if you've seen Avengers Endgame, the movie done by Marvel Studios back in 2019, but it actually, this is a very interesting scene that I saw in that movie. Can you imagine this? 3 hours long, Lord have mercy. But anyway, so in this particular scene that I saw, we have the antagonist, his name is Thanos. He arrives to present age planet Earth, basically. And we have Earth's defenders, Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor, basically trying to stop Thanos from finding the Infinity Stones to snap, again, mind you, half of the world's population. He did it before, a few years back. He's trying to do it again, right? So the Avengers are trying to stop him. The first three that were coming against him, I already mentioned them. They actually, if you can imagine this, they used every single power that they had to try to stop Thanos. Captain America had not been able to lift the hammer ever in his life, but he came very close in 2015. On this particular day, he finally lifted the hammer, Mjolnir, that's the name of it, and he used it to combat against Thanos. It's very interesting. So, with the hammer in his one hand and his shield in the other, he's defending himself against Thanos. Thanos, his huge hammer, made of some sort of metal, he used it to swing against Captain America. He held up his shield and he started swinging at him. He hit so hard that the shield started breaking. Pieces started flying all over the place. But there were some pieces of it, of the shield, that remained in place and kept Captain America alive. As effective as that was, imagine how effective the armor of God is in the spiritual life. I want to read you a verse that Paul wrote to the Ephesians. It's from Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 18. I want to read this briefly. This is from the NLT version. Just track with me here. The whole armor of God, Paul says this, a final word. Be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on all of God's armor so that you will be able to stand firm against all strategies of the devil. For we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, and against evil spirits in the heavenly places. Therefore, put on every piece of God's armor so that you'll be able to resist the enemy in the time of evil. Then after the battle, you will be standing firm. Stand your ground, putting on the belt of truth and the body armor of God's righteousness. For shoes, put on the peace that comes from the good news so that you will be fully prepared. In addition to all of these, hold up the shield of faith to stop the fiery arrows of the devil. Put on salvation as your helmet, and take the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. On to verse 18. Pray in the Spirit at all times and on every occasion. Stay alert and be persistent in your prayers for all believers everywhere. You see, the reason why Paul was writing this to the Ephesian church was because of all of the persecution they were experiencing from unbelievers and the obscure oppression of the Roman government at the time. And the evil one used that to try to intimidate them from continuing the journey, from fighting for the sake of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And he still uses that tactic on us today as God's children. So what we're going to look at is how we can use the armor of God for a guarded lifestyle. A guarded lifestyle in the sense that it's going to help us remain, yes, protected, but also is going to help us be able to be armed for combat against the evil one and his strategies on God's children.